First up for you on this Thursday, Lent began yesterday, and for many believers, the next 40 days is a time of sacrifice, giving up something in your daily life that you might consider unnecessary, excessive, perhaps unhealthy, or any kind of sacrificial giving up.
But it can also be a time to take up something good as well. The Church Health Center is encouraging Christians to practice what you eat this Lent by taking up healthy cooking.
Interesting idea. Reverend Stacy Smith is here to explain the genesis of the idea with dietitian Rebecca Greer, who's hopefully going to give us an idea of, if we decide to do this, what we can fix. So, Reverend, how did this come about? Were you just sitting around the table one day saying, let me think?
Well, we have so many recipes at the Church Health Center that we develop in our wellness kitchen. And we wanted to find a way to connect all of that stuff that we do with our efforts around the season of Lent. Because a lot of people do give up something during Lent. A lot of times it's food, and it could be chocolate or maybe eating meat or drinking sodas. But we wanted to find a way to combine the two together and say you can focus on food, keep that focus on food during Lent, but find, like you said, a new way to do that a little bit differently.
And to do it intentionally.
Exactly, exactly. It takes really about 40 days to develop a new habit. So this is a good chance to try something new, to try cooking recipes at home, healthy recipes, and see if it can take.
Hopefully it will take. Yeah. So Rebecca, what about it? Are there that many recipe possibilities out there during this season?
There really are. It was really hard to pare it down to 40 from our kitchen. You know, we have cooking classes Monday through Thursday, so we have new healthy recipes all the time. So this was a way to kind of combine the two, and there's themes for each week.
Themes such as?
So for this recipe's from the third week of Lent, and it's about comfort recipes. So
because by that time we might need it.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, we do. So ladies, where do we start here this morning? What do you have here for us?
We're doing healthy chicken nuggets. So this is something, you know, if you're taking up this practice and your kids are kind of drug along, they might like it too.
Now, you know when we think of chicken nuggets usually, we don't always think they're healthy.
Exactly.
For one thing, I always wonder if they're real chicken.
Exactly. So, and you don't ever make them at home. And they're usually from a fast food, so we're trying to change that practice too. So we've got chicken tenderloins. It's, you know, kind of the underside of the breast.
Right.
It's a thinner cut of meat, very lean, and it's actually cheaper than boneless, skinless chicken breasts.
Is it really?
So it's a great, you know, cheap option too for a lean meat. So we start off with that.
So you cut them in like bite-sized pieces?
Yeah, just cut them up. Each tenderloin, you know, cut up maybe two or three little bites, and you just want them to be as much, you know, as a bite size as you want.
Now, what is that you put on?
We just did onion powder. We're going to season them up with onion powder, not onion salt.
Oh, okay.
So what do you like the difference there?
So we're adding a little bit of salt, but we don't want to add salt with every seasoning.
Exactly. I see what you're saying.
Because that's one of the things you're trying to get away from.
Exactly. So we just do a little kind of sprinkle of salt.
Okay.
And then
do you prefer
garlic powder?
Yeah, because I see you're using not the shaker salt. Do you find you use less if you use salt in that form?
You know, sea salt really doesn't have any less sodium than regular salt, but they're bigger granules, so you can use less. Okay. Usually. So then we've got garlic powder. Season it up with a little bit of garlic powder.
Again, non-garlic salt.
Exactly.
Okay.
And then just a little bit of black pepper. And I'm seasoning the chicken and not the cornmeal, which we'll dip it in later because you get more seasoning and more taste when you actually flavor the chicken first.
Really? Okay, that's good to know.
So in the future, flavor the chicken, not the cornmeal.
Exactly. So just kind of mix that up in there, then we'll drop it in here.
And you don't run it through a wash of egg or anything first?
No, you can, but this actually works fine.
And it gives you a thinner coating, I guess, of the cornmeal, which is probably healthy.
Yeah, and it sticks just fine, and it's one less bowl to, you know, get all dirty and clean up.
That makes a lot of sense.
I am all about making it easy.
So, Reverend, what about yourself? Have you tried some of these recipes yourself, or will you try them?
I have. I've cooked, I think, 3 of them so far, because Lent started yesterday with Ash Wednesday, so we've had a couple of recipes so far. Yesterday was the minestrone, which was wonderful, and let's see, I've done a penne with shrimp and cherry tomatoes, and the taco soup, which is also coming up. That's coming up during the Simple Practices week. So in the 4th week of Lent, we are saying it doesn't have to be particularly hard. By this point, you might be getting tired, right?
Right,
know what you
right.
mean.
But
Here are
by
some
this
very
time, you've
easy
also
things.
created a situation where you're feeling better, I'm
Exactly,
sure.
exactly.
So as a working, do you have kids?
I don't, no.
Okay, so, but as someone who works, goes home, is it a lot of work? Because you know it's so easy to run through the drive-thru.
Some of them take a little more time than others. They do. Some take, as little as 5 or 10 minutes. Some take maybe a half an hour.
Okay.
But especially the ones like the soups that are on every Monday, a lot of that is just throwing it into the pot and turning it on and keeping an eye on it.
That's
you know?
easy
I love
enough.
that.
So,
Very
Rebecca,
easy.
as we continue to heat the skillet here, what else do we
Now,
have
what
to do?
kind of oil, too?
So we are using olive oil. In our kitchen at Church Health Center, we use mostly olive and canola.
Okay.
I've got about 2 tablespoons in here, which should be enough to pan fry every single one, so we're not deep frying.
Okay.
And the beauty of this too is that as far as time goes, if you have your meals planned out and you have all of the recipes, then you kind of have no excuse once you get home. You've already planned to have this.
It really
which makes
doesn't take any
easier.
longer than stopping.
Exactly.
It's less of a hassle. if you do
Right.
everything.
And all of the recipes are all right together on the website.
Okay, so we can just go to churchhealth.org. Is it .org?
There, you can go to churchhealthcenter.org,
Okay.
and the devotional itself is on Church Health Reader, which is our magazine of the Church Health Center.
Okay.
But you can connect to it from either place.
And you lay out all the recipes. Do you have shopping lists by any chance? Am I that lucky?
We don't, I don't think.
Okay.
But yeah,
That's all right. I
on
can
one
deal with
page,
that.
all in
You're
one
asking
week.
for too much, Mary Beth. You apparently want the folks at the Church Health
Maybe
Center to
next
do
year.
everything for you.
It is Lent, after all.
Obviously
Yeah,
so.
really. There has to be some work involved, Conley.
Rebecca, we'll cook these for about how long, though?
these will be about 3 or 4 minutes on this side, and one of the mistakes a lot of people make is messing with it too much. You just want to put it in there and leave it. That's what gets that nice brown crust.
Okay.
So be patient.
Right.
3 minutes aside?
Exactly. About 3 minutes aside.
And the finished product
the
will
finished
look like
product.
right this, right here in front of us.
You're so smart to do kid-friendly recipes. I'm telling you
And
what.
these are adult-friendly, too, but
Yeah.
that's it.
I cooked it for my husband last
Point.
night.
And you enjoyed it, huh?
I liked it.
Okay, all right. They look
Thank
great.
you very much.
Thank you.
We do appreciate it.
And then we should say don't dip them in a bunch of ranch dressing.
Yeah, mustard's
Add
healthy.
that.
Mustard,
All right.
barbecue sauce. Get it. All right, we still have much more to come this morning on News Channel 3 Live at 9, including the very familiar face.
Yes, Jeff Greenfield. What if, we're going to look at some major events in American history, what if there was just a slight twist? What would happen and the ripple effect that might have?
That is next. You're watching Live at 9.